Welcome to the Solemn Vanguard channel. I know I released a Gyze video like 2 minutes ago already, but that was more of an update video to tell you guys and girls about the skills rather than my actual thoughts. So, if you don't know Gyze's skill yet, please watch that update video first, because there I explain the skills and everything. In this video I won't, I will just go over the implications. It's just such a different mechanic that you really have to have seen the update video before watching this one. So watch that and then come back to this video. So here's my video with thoughts on Gyze, going a little bit more in depth from a game design perspective. First of all, I got some comments saying it's easy to just retire the Xerath Dragons and then Gyze does nothing. That is simply false. You can't just retire them since they can't return to the G zone, which is the usual ruling for strides entering the rearguard circles when they're retired. So all Xerath Dragons on the field are practically unaffected by card effects because of Gyze. Other people said you could Mukuro Gyze to then attack the Xerath Dragons, but even if you could destroy them by battle, which you can't, that's even part of the Vanguard skill, that doesn't take away that Gyze himself is unaffected by card effects, so you can't Mukuro him in the first place. The rules are really complicated, but judges seem to agree that you can call 2 locked cards over the Xerath Dragons with Deluge and then remove them from the game, but that's it. Regardless, we'll have to wait for Bushiroad's actual explanation on this one. That still leaves you with 3 lethal damage to the face, however. From the looks of it, it sounds like you'll actually have to beat them in that one turn you get against the 30k body. No cheap tricks, no outsmarting, just hope you can overpower them. But that by itself isn't what scares me. A second Stride Alexandros or a similar card like that could potentially get the job done, and rushing should in theory work well. The issue I have with this card is that it's trigger reliant. It's one big clock that counts down based on luck stacking rather than skillful play. We all know those games where your opponent gets 3 or 4 defensive triggers in a row. That by itself forms GG already. There is virtually no counterplay to any of this. It's going to be insanely easy to just luck sack your way to victory with this deck, and your opponent can't use any form of skill to really play around it. But then on the flip side, if triggers aren't on your side, the deck falls flat on its face. Apart from that, rushing them also gives them a higher chance of hitting defensive triggers, which then makes the countdown go faster. One card seems to really oppress them right now, and that is Optyrandus. In the Vanguard judge community, it seems widely accepted that Optyrandus simply stops your opponent from calling those Xerath Dragons in the first place. That sounds like a hilarious loophole, but I have doubts whether Bushi would just let that happen. We'll have to wait and see. Apart from that, Gyze, since Gyze is unaffected by card effects, you also have the hilarious issue where if 2 players are on Gyze, they both can't deal the lethal damage because that's a card effect. So you'll basically be stuck in this match that's bound to take forever, apart from one side being ridiculously trigger lucky. This would mean Gyze mirror matches usually go way into time and then just end in a draw. If Gyze becomes a meta deck, that sounds hilariously unhealthy for the tournament structure. Generally, Gyze seems like an underwhelming card, purely because of his RNG factor, but that immediately also makes him really unhealthy for the game. I don't think your win condition should be a die roll. Bushi has been decreasing trigger RNG for a while now by giving better guard options. Why now create a card that's so RNG reliant? Finally, let's not forget that Angel Feather has rescue checks, which pumps up their trigger stacking to insane amounts. Battle Sister stacks the deck as well. Some decks can easily stack triggers to a point where they will have hit all 5 triggers by first stride, get their Gyze out, and most decks can't cope with this at all. So I'm sure we'll see some really hilarious builds popping up that totally abuse this card's existence. So conclusion, the card itself isn't scary. The implications it has on the game as an absolute RNG monster that doesn't provide any counterplay to the opponent is what makes it a mechanically dumb card. Hope you found this video interesting. If you haven't subscribed to the Solemn Vanguard channel yet, please do, and click the bell button next to the subscribe button while you're at it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you soon. Ciao!